So our goal here is to make this look like this. I'm going to walk you through that. And first off, the font that we're using for most of this is just going to be an Arial. And we'll talk about different weights and styles we can use. But let's start off by just kind of putting this off to the side. And we'll start off with the word education and make sure it's centered. In fact, let's all center all of these right now. Then the word education is actually going to be Bebas Noe Bold. So you're going to type in BEB, and if you don't see a bold here, if you don't see Bebas Noe, you just need to go into Find More and wait for it to initialize, and then type in or search down, scroll until you have BEBAS. Now make sure your filters are not on. If you have filters on, then it's not going to work properly, so just turn them off. Or you can turn on your sans serif one, because that's what it is. It should be B, 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 E, B. Right here. New A. And then you're going to want to get the one that has a bold or right there. Expanded bold is fine. You got to click on that. And then it should activate. It takes a second. I'm not going to worry about it right now because I already got it. So let's make this bigger. And we're just going to increase the font size to about 120. If it disappears, just make your text box bigger. It's actually bigger than that. Let's change it to, let's see. It's even bigger. 160. And then just resize the box. Now, if you're resizing and you notice this happens, just double click on this dot right here until it's blue. It's like two different modes for the text box. Blue will change the text box size. All right, here we're going to want an Arial bold. And then we got passport. And again, it's the same as this one. So Bebas bold 160. And resize. Make sure your text box doesn't go down too far. It makes it harder to do stuff later. To the future is going to be a little bit smaller. And actually, before we do that, you'll notice passport and education, they line up. So the N and the T line up, and the P and the E. So what I'm going to do is just put a couple of cubes here, or sorry, rectangles, and then I'm going to adjust my tracking and move it around so that it touches exactly on both edges. So we get this nice square. To the future, looks like it's going to be italics, so Arial italic, and maybe a little smaller. Let's try like 64. All right. Then we got for tomorrow belongs. There's that belongs. Looks like the font size is maybe a little big, so I'm going to go 64 again. Actually, I'm going to go even smaller. Let's try like, nah, should be consistent. And then those are pretty thin, so let's change those to narrow. And then the word tomorrow, Bebas. And you should notice that it should go all caps when you do that. And if it does not, if you click on these three dots under character, there's an all caps option right there. So if I were to select the word belongs, for example, and do all caps, it'll do that. Okay, and then I want the word tomorrow to be bigger. So let's bring it up to about 100. To those who is looking about the same. Prepare for it. The word prepare again is going to be the best way. Let's stick with that 100. So we have consistency. And then for it, in this case, looks actually about the same. So we'll leave it. Today, you know what it is. Bebas. Oops. And I think of this one, we're going to do that same size we did on the top here, which is 160. And resize your box. And then we got Malcolm X at the bottom. Looks like maybe this font's a little bit bigger. It's just an Arial regular, it looks like. Select that, and let's go with 100. And resize. Okay, now you'll notice it's like not quite lined up, so let's just select everything. And then you're going to find under Align, make sure it says Selection under this box. Click on this button right here. It'll push them all together in the center. Actually, let's align it to our artboard. So it's in the middle of the artboard. So click on this, go to artboard, and then click on that. Now they're all lined up. Looks like we got to put in a line right here. Give it a stroke, about 4 points or so. Then we have a rectangle around the word passport. No fill, has a stroke. Let's center it with that button and make that stroke thick. All right, now it's just a question of coloring it. So I'll need to put a rectangle behind the whole thing. And this rectangle has a kind of lightish blue. A little bit more on the greener side, maybe right around there. If you want to just type in the code, it's 8AC9DD. And the stroke, double click on it. Let's go to yellow, a little desaturated. Maybe red, or a little lightened, I guess. Maybe a little bit more on the orange side. Cool. And then make that stroke a little thicker. All right, now just right click, arrange, send to back. We also are going to want to get that color. So let's highlight the word education, use the eyedropper, click on the yellow. That didn't work, that didn't work, that didn't work. Okay, never mind. Let's click on this yellow right here, and let's add it to our swatches. So if you go to swatches, if you don't see it, just go to window, swatches. Hit the plus, now you got that color. So then we can just select this. I wonder if we can just select the box, this and this at the same time with shift. Go to fill, change to that, and there we go. And then passport is white. All right, now finally, take the words education, passport, and today. Hold down all. I use shift to select them all at the same time. You can do them one at a time if that's easier. And hold down alt to make copies of them. And then these three are going to be black. And then I just move these back to give it a little bit of a shadow. You can use the arrow keys to kind of nudge it. And I actually kind of like this better than what I had the other one. It looks like this to the future is actually a little bit more bold. So I don't see an italic. Oh yeah, bold italic. Yeah, that's it. And maybe a little smaller. And there we go. That's about it. So, oh, quotation marks. Okay. Whatever. Don't worry about the quotation marks. Let's be done. File. Export. Export as. Choose PNG. Use artboards. Creative Cloud folder. Put your name on it. Export and make sure that it's at least 300 right here. And that's it.